Guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Kate and I'm a registered nurse living here in California. You may have found me because I failed the NCLEX the first time I took it, but I passed the second time, and yeah, I make nursing videos on here. So if you'd like to subscribe, please press that button down below and hit that like button. And let's get to the video. You guys may know my most recent announcement is I just moved to day shift after working as a night shift nurse for 3 years. It's been great. I want to say, technically I've only been on it for 2 weeks on day shift, but I want to say I've already noticed some pretty dramatic changes, not only in my sleep, but in my mood and my energy, and it got me into reflecting about the things that I experienced on night shift that affected me negatively. But I just want to put out there, I love night shift so much. I grew up with the mentality that I was going to be a night shift nurse for life, and who knows, honestly, at this point, who knows what the future will hold when I do decide to move jobs eventually. Don't want to settle down where I am right now, so who knows, maybe I will turn back into a night shift nurse. But for the meantime, I'm now days, and I have realized some things that I experienced during night shift and the way that night shift working life affected me. I didn't think that working nights really had that much of a negative side effect to it, other than the fact that I wasn't able to really sleep that much. So that was the main issue. No sleep equals less energy, equals less focus, equals less happiness, equals less competency when it comes to my work. I like to have things done, and I'm very efficient in my work ethics, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly and efficiently, and I'm able to adapt pretty well, and that's something I've always held myself very high. I cannot speak today. I've always been very prideful in my ability to adapt, which really works for my position working as a float pool nurse, because as a float, I basically show up every day to work not knowing which floor I'm gonna go to. Being adaptable, I was thinking, it's fine. No sleep, I can adapt. It probably took about 2-ish years into this job for me to start noticing any side effects from working nights. The only thing I really noticed in the first 2 years was my major weight gain. And I know, I get it, I'm not super overweight or anything for my size. For the weight that I've carried for the most of my life, I've always just been kind of a petite kind of girl, probably just from genetics. Literally within the first year of working nights, I gained 20 pounds. So that kind of put a damper in everything, but I was just thinking oh, it's just because night shift, we just get so many goodies every night. We just get pizza nights, ice cream nights, several potlucks. Once I would get home, if I decided to eat before going to sleep, I would not stop. That's something I had to learn along the way, that I could not touch food once I got home from work at 8 a.m. in the morning. No. Food is a no, because my body, my mind mentally could not control my freaking tendency to just gobble up everything. So other than my weight gain, about 2 years into it, so within this last year of me working nights, I started to realize that I was being super forgetful. Just so forgetful, which is really odd for me. I'm not a forgetful type of person. I'm pretty relentless with my memory. Always been super prideful for it, because it's what got me through nursing school in the first place, was my ability to basically remember pretty much anything I put my eyes on. That was the main thing I started to notice. I would forget really little things. I would forget that I made plans, which is not like me. I would forget important deadlines for my bills. I would forget to close the garage door. all the time. No matter how many times I did it, for some reason, I couldn't just get myself to fix it. To me, it was almost like I was losing my freaking mind, just not being able to remember such a little thing and important thing like that. Another side effect I started noticing was my moodiness. I would get so moody and irritable with friends, with my boyfriend, with my family. I mean, don't get me wrong, we girls do have an influx of hormonal energy once a month, but I feel like I was just overall affected by this negative energy. What planets are in retrograde like all the time, causing all this hormonal energy in the air? Like, I felt like that was happening with me all the time, and I could never recover from it, and it was hard to stay positive when I was just so tired all the time. Ugh, okay, and this next one was a big one, and I didn't actually realize that this was a side effect I may have experienced from working night shift until I spoke to a day shift nurse just the other day when she was asking me why I moved to days. But my vision started suffering, which is, it's kind of crazy. So I'm 27 and I've always had 20/20 vision. I started noticing within the past year that at night, which is when I'd be working, my vision would be deteriorating. When you say a word enough times, it just sounds super weird, doesn't it? All of a sudden, I wasn't 20/20 anymore. Absolutely strange, because I've never had glasses, nor did I ever have to worry about wearing them. So all of a sudden, my vision was just going crazy. I was talking to my coworker the other day, and she told me she had worked nights for 10 years, and she said that her vision really suffered from it. And I asked her, how does your vision get affected by working nights? And then she said it was because of the lack of sleep, which I did my research, and there is a correlation. When you have severe lack of sleep, it can directly affect your eyesight. So that was just like, along with all these other symptoms that I was feeling, I felt like I was just chronically lightheaded. The only thing that really kept me sane was working out, but it was really hard for me to push myself at the gym when I would be feeling so not there. Last but not least, this is kind of TMI, but we all nurses here, or we want to be nurses, or we're in the medical field. Working nights, I feel like I was just always super constipated. Like, no matter how many times I changed my diet, whatever it was, like, nothing would help. And I know sleep can be directly correlated to your GI system as well. Night shift did a number on me, girl, and I didn't even realize it was happening. What I gotta say is, since I moved to days, it's just been a literal complete night and day. I've seen the sunshine, and I know some people would say that I've joined the dark side. All I know is that I did this for me, and I did this for my health, and I feel a lot better and happier for it. I'm just so excited that I finally made the switch, and I was able to reflect about the things that I didn't even realize were happening while I was working nights. I hope that was able to answer some of the questions that a lot of you guys have been asking, for those that have been working nights for a little bit or a long time and they've been considering moving to days. I don't know if you guys have experienced these symptoms as well, or side effects. But yeah, let me know your experiences. I'm for sure still 100% #1 supporter of night shifters. Like, who knows, maybe I'll join the bright side again. But all in all, this was pretty much my video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.